The start of a new season always carries with it a bevy of unknowns. But as we saw in qualifying with some early surprises, you never really know what Marbula 1 is going to throw at you. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Our defending champions, Crazy Cat's Eyes, eliminated in Q1. So will chaos reign here at Tumult Turnpike, or will we see a restoration of the order from last season? I'm betting more toward the former, if it is anything to go by from the running that we have seen. There they are, your starting order in the blocks. It is Origin. First ever pole position in the blocks and ready to go. We'll have to shield off Momo and Starry. Lights are on. And we're rolling to kick off the 2022 season of Marbula 1. And Origin's lead is gone by the second turn. Fallen back to third, regrouped to second, now down the backstretch, back up to the front of the field. Origin, perhaps a bit nervous coming out of the gate, lost it to Starry and Momo for a little while, but right now it is only Momo who is keeping pace. Then it's a wide gap back. They're going to be side by side as they come up the conveyor belt for the first time. One lap of 17 is complete. Origin gets off well. Big burst of speed by Starry coming around the outside. Wait, we've got a yellow flag here. Cerulean is stuck but rolling again, so no safety marble needed. That's a nice move there by the Crazy Cat's Eyes Yellow Eye, who was third in the championship last season. Made a couple of spots on that lap, up to 9th. Origin has Dash to contend with now in the melee, and the yellow flag coming back there. Dash got around Momo, as did Arip. Starry Momo slow off the belt. Alpine also goes up into 4th. Momo struggling through the first sector as well. What do we see here? There's Dash, there's Alpine in 3rd place. Through the chicane. Can anybody make some moves? Yes, Minty Flav did on the exit. Now entering the 3rd sector there, Minty Flav gets shouldered to the side onto the curbs by Momo. Origin's lead is over 2 seconds out front. Look at this, 4 marbles abreast as they come off the belt now. Who's going to get the better of him? It's Starry. But immediately some challenges there as we take a look. This nice entry into that dangerous sweeping bank turn. 4 laps in, it is Dash who holds fastest lap. Chasing Origin. Behind Dash, it's Arip, Starry, Shimmer, Clutter, Minty Flav, Bolt, Momo, fallen to 9th place. Alpine, Mallard, who just loses a spot to Yellop, as I say that. Swax, Yellow Eye back in 14th. Mocha, Rapidly, Waspy Hazy, Pinky Toe, and Cerulean, who was caught a while back and briefly brought out that local yellow flag. This lead that was over 2 seconds is falling precipitously. Origin can see Dash through nearly every turn, but don't discount Starry either. In the draft of Dash, trying to get a good launch. Arip, in the meantime, holds 4th and fastest lap for now. 7/10 is gone out of that lead. It's 1.35 for Origin, who has led from start to finish, except for the first 2 turns coming off of the starting grid. Starry gets by into 2nd place down that backstretch. That was a nice move. Minty Flav also making some advancements up to 5th. Minty Flav started down there in 8th. Nice move there, Starry battling with Dash. Arip wants a piece of that as well, so does Minty Flav. That battle is going to be one to watch in the ensuing laps. Coming up the conveyor belt, everybody exiting fairly cleanly here. Look at that 3 marble battle into the banking and coming out of it. Nice move down the backstretch there. Was that Clutter from 11th place? Clutter is up to 5th, and another move there. Over under. And they hold station. Starry and Dash are very close together as they come off of the belt. Dash goes around the outside into turn 1 and takes 2nd place. Origin has to keep an eye out for that blue marble, which is making some moves, but bumping against the wall here and is going to get passed by 2. Starry and Clutter get by. Dash trying to hold on here, has moments of greatness, but then loses 2 spots at a single turn. Cerulean's doing a good job of trying to catch up to Pinky Toe on the back of the field. Several other good movers throughout this. We'll try to recap it if we get a chance, but things are moving quickly. Origin from Dash, Starry, Clutter, Alpine, and Arip. Minty Flav gets 2 spots there and moves up into 8th spot, but that gap has once again grown. Origin across the line to the tune of 1.8 seconds. Starry back another full second from there. That was a hard impact into the wall for Origin coming out of turn number 1. That has kind of been Origin's undoing. If there's a weak spot so far, it has seemed to be turn 1 and the first sector. There we take a look. Out of the chicane down the backstretch. Entering Sector 3, Alpine makes a move and gets 5th spot, but has not dispatched of Arup yet. There we see Orange exiting. That lead come down. And look at this nice push from Starry. Goes to the outside and makes the move. Slow off of that corner was Dash, and that speed penalty is carried all the way through the banking. Dash could be in danger of losing more spots if momentum is not recouped. Mocha has fallen to last place. Cerulean makes a nice move there to get by Hazy, our winner from last season. What is Hazy doing down in 19th, although moves to 17th as I say that? There's a good battle with Mallard. Coming up the belt, Yellow Eye has improved in the meantime, up to 7th spot. Now 6th, battling with Alpine. Back and forth they go. Starry and Clutter and Arup have all gotten by Dash in the meantime as we enter the final third of this race. Orange in the leader. A bit of a stutter coming onto that belt it looked like, but the gap is 2.3. Clutter, Arup, Dash very close. Will we see them come off the belt? Yes, we do. Dash in front for now. On to the banking. The crowd going crazy behind them. What a view they have. Watching marbles picking up peak speed. Yellow Eye in 5th. There you see. Stalking Dash, the crazy cat's eyes after that poor performance in qualifying, desperate to get back to what they feel is their destined spot on the podium as they were nearly all of last season. That was absolute dominance. Red Eye, the overall champion. Yellow Eye, number 3 in the individual championship. Crazy Cat's Eye, just 2 weekends where they scored 0 points. Put that in comparison, Savage Speeders, who finished 2nd in the championship, had 5 weekends where they amassed 0. That is astounding stuff. As we look at the marbles winding their way through this rocky 3rd sector, that fastest lap still belonging to Dash. But it is a fast and torrid pace being laid down by Orangen, who continues to stretch the lead. Starry, Clutter, Dash, Yellow Eye, Arup, Mallard, Alpine, Minty Flav, Wuspy, and Yellup battling for that final spot in the top 10. Then it's Momo, who's fallen well back from that starting spot. Bolt, Shimmer, Rapidly Hazy, Swax, Pinky Toe, Mocha, now Cerulean back in last. Starry trying to put together a battle here with Dash. Once again, these marbles have gone back and forth several times, but Starry gets out of sorts on the banking and loses a position. Clutter gets by, and the Tumult Turnpike crowd is going crazy. Tumult was not chosen to race at Tumult Turnpike. Coach Harmony felt that Clutter was the better option, and that is proving vindicated so far as we enter the final lap. Orangen around the banking for one last time. It is going to take a colossal error, but the battle for the podium spots are still on. Big burst of speed here coming from Starry. We're looking at Orangen, but who got by? Dash, Clutter, Arup, all in there. Orangen will win the race to kick off the 2022 season of Marbula 1. Who's going to come second? Oh, it's a big battle across the line, and it is Clutter for the home team. Oh, we're going to need to see a replay of that. 3 or 4 marbles all in there, swinging around that last turn, and Clutter gets P2. For Orangen, that is the 2nd gold and 3rd medal in Marbula 1, and just the 4th marble who has led every lap in a race in Marbula 1 history. What a job. Fastest lap goes to Dash, who did not get the podium, but will get a point for that fastest lap for the Turtle Sliders. The O-Rangers celebrate on top of the podium, but it's Balls of Chaos who feel that they have stolen something away in the 11th hour to get that 2nd spot. Arup comes in 3rd to round out the podium as you see the overall standings, both individual and in the team. Well done to the O-Rangers, Balls of Chaos, and Team Primary as we end this first weekend of Marbula 1. If that is a taste of the season to come, you are not going to want to miss a single moment. Be sure to turn on notifications by tapping that bell next to the subscribe button. Oh yeah, and subscribe while you're at it. Until next time, so long everyone. In a land where glaciers glide Marbula 1 has found its footing as the top echelon of marble racing comes to Sleet Street for the very first time. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Greg Woods. This is a track that not only features that very prominent banked section as you see on your screen, but also a treacherous sheet of ice coming out of that banking, shortly followed thereafter by a dangerous drop. Some of you may be reticent to remember, longtime Marbula 1 fans, the dangers of drops like that, but for the fans in the stands, especially those of the Thunderbolts, they are buzzing because their team captain Thunder is on pole position for the very first time. That netted 3 points coming out of qualifying yesterday, and a week ago when Bolt finished just 10th, they're hoping that fortunes can be flipped around. And as we saw in the qualifying race, it doesn't really matter where you start, especially among the top 10, of course, but you can make up some spots, like Red Eye did, to get up there into 4th. Competitors in the blocks. Lights are on. And we're rolling. Thunder gets off to a slower start, but gathers it back up through the first turn, into the banking. We've seen a switch. Is that Red Eye coming up through? Red Eye has taken the lead. Coming out of the banking, we see a huge stratification over the ice. I think that will continue to be a problem. But it's Red Eye and Smoggy well off into the distance. They're already rounding the final turn. Good move there. Clementon gets into 3rd spot in front of Minty Fresh. Then Thunder's fallen all the way back to 5th. Already 2 seconds off the lead. This is a great battle up front. Red Eye, Smoggy, shadowing each other as they come off of the banking. And Smoggy has done this after starting 11th. We've got several good passes coming out of that banking. That is going to be a difficult spot. Not just the exit, but also the entry onto the ice. Red Eye sets fastest lap, goes 3/10 clear of Smoggy. Thunder has regrouped back into 3rd spot. Then it's Clementon, Wispy, Nemo, Tumult, Speedy, Minty Fresh, Tumult, and Prim. A couple of those spots switched as I say that. Oh, Red Eye comes to a complete stop, but so does Smoggy. Can anybody else in the field start to catch up to him? Nemo has moved up into 3rd spot and is trying to take that mantle, but has a little ways to go. This is a great midfield pack that we've seen develop. We're looking at Iceberg, Crush also down there. Of course, the home fans hoping that Iceberg can mount a good comeback. Now it's about a 10-length lead for Red Eye, back to Smoggy. Another hard hit, a stoppage, and Smoggy takes advantage this time. If Red Eye can't master that entry onto the ice, then several are going to take advantage. Oh, we see others struggling greatly in the exact same spot there. This is going to happen. Many of the teams were worried about this because limited running outside of your qualifying run, if you did not make Q2, those were the only times you got to face this circuit. Red Eye makes up for it this time around and retakes the lead from Smoggy. Maybe learning. But of course, those in the top 10 got a 3-lap shootout to get slightly better at this course. The lead, just barely, 0.02 of a second. We're watching here at the top of the belt. Off they come and Smoggy gets the jump. Down that front stretch, onto the ice. It's a 2-marble race, but Thunder has taken fastest lap. That was a good move there. Was that Minty Fresh getting around Cosmo? Yes, it was. Oh, hard impacts there, sends Clementon backwards and then forwards again. Now to the outside, and Clementon gets around Bumble. Clementon also makes up another spot by Cosmo. Smoggy has increased the lead. Red Eye playing chase now. Smoggy goes side to side, pinballing along with Red Eye. These two are so intent on each other, they're not getting the entry to the ice all that well. A great burst of speed down the backstretch, and Red Eye retakes the lead. Got that drop correct, I'll tell you that. The lead, 1.27 seconds, all gathered in the 3rd sector. Clementon takes fastest lap, now sitting in 4th spot. That's a nice burst of speed to head into the 3rd sector there. And coming across the line for Yellow. Red Eye goes to the inside of that split. That worked out very well last time. There's a good battle with Clementon chasing Thunder as they head down that backstretch, followed by Tumult, Minty Fresh, Wispy, Royal, Speedy, and Billy rounding out the top 10. Then it's Bumble, Nemo, Cosmos, Prim, Iceberg, Crush, Bonbon, Yellow, Pinky Panther, and Glimmer. Back up the field here, we see the battle from 4th on down. Clementon, Minty Fresh, Tumult, Swinging around that turn there goes Crush as we exit off of the banking. Nemo getting by Billy, who struggled there. As we look at the top of the course now, it's Red Eye who's back in front. Smoggy, once again, very close. How are they going to come here? Oh, the pass happens before they enter the ice, and I think that let Red Eye spinning. Smoggy has a huge lead now. As we take a look at the ice. There goes Tumult. Billy and Bumble. A lot of differing lines there and a lot of frustration. These marbles are not happy with the unpredictability of that ice. Lots of worried faces on the pit wall as well. Farther down the field here. That's toward the back of the pack. Yellow loses a spot to Crush. Pinky Panther in 17th. Prim up there. Clementon, in the meantime, still holds fastest lap. Off to the right, you saw, and here we go. The exit off of the bell. That lead has come down greatly for Smoggy. Red Eye's right there. They're bumping as they come down the front stretch. Red Eye looks to the inside, tries to have it covered by Smoggy, and gets by on the ice. This is a phenomenal duel between these two stalwarts in Marbula 1. Red Eye continues to lead nearly half a second, but the exits off the belt have been something to watch for both of these marbles on different laps. Nice draft down that front stretch, through the banking. What can Smoggy do again? Yes, onto the ice. Keeping it cool, and they're just about to lap Crush. Lap 13 of 16. These go by very quickly. Smoggy trying to get by Crush. And Crush gets a blue flag and is going to need to let them pass at some point. Pinballing off the sides there. They come together. Will this let Red Eye close up? No, Red Eye's having more difficulty in that second sector. Smoggy's going to have to try something else, but Crush is racing at the time. All right, Smoggy gets by as Crush tries to get by Prim. Smoggy gets by both. Well, just barely. All right, now where is Red Eye in all of this? What is the gap? That is a large gap at that. We've got just a couple of laps to go. Smoggy getting caught up in things again. This is not easy at all for our leader. Not much time left. Smoggy for the Hazers leads this race, and with lap traffic getting in between them and Red Eye just unable to figure out how to come off of that banking in Sector 1, the lead is 7 seconds. That has come out of nowhere. Smoggy just one win in their career in Marbula 1. Just 3 podiums overall. That's about to change. Around the final turn, Smoggy wins the race in commanding fashion at Sleet Street. The battle is still on, though, for the rest of these positions. Red Eye comes across in second spot, now 10 seconds back. Wispy and Clementon hold station in third and fourth. Minty Fresh comes across in fifth. Royal Thunder, Nemo, Speedy, and Yellow rounding out the top 10. Iceberg can only manage 14th, but was not lapped. Everybody below that spot, though, was. Oh boy, that was quite a few lapped marbles. But what a run down the stretch that Hazy put on to distance from Red Eye. That was great stuff. This battle between the two of them was epic, going back and forth. Cosmo had 34 overtakes, wow. But there were some consequential ones between these two. That wall. The marbles are going to leave this bruised. I tell you what, Clementon gets fastest lap and the point that comes from it on lap 7, a 20.37. But the Hazers celebrate on top of the podium. Crazy Cat's Eye still happy with a second place. And oh yeah, don't forget about the Midnight Wisps down there in third too. That is quite a graph, especially among the top two. But look at everybody else. I need a degree to make sense of that. As we take a look at the overall standings, right now we have one race apiece, and it is Orangin leading Smoggy at the top of the field, and the O'Rangers are clear of the Crazy Cat's Eyes, who have jumped up 4 spots, but look at 12 by the Hazers and 10 by the Midnight Wisps. Still early days, but a lot of Marbula 1 left to come, and we hope to see you here for the rest of it. Dark and foreboding, it seems, here at the top of a place that was once only rumored to exist, Misty Mountain. Yes, the visibility is low. It's more mystic sometimes than misty, but it is the home of the Hazers and the site of the 3rd Grand Prix in the 3rd season of Marbula 1. Hello everybody from a thankfully lit commentary booth. I am Greg Woods, and this was the site of one heck of a race last year. You may remember it was the Hazers that came out triumphant, but it was Clutter on pole and did not stay there. A bizarre incident with Clutter and Bumble getting stuck on the inside of what was then turn 6, multiple attempts by the safety marble to clear them. It eventually had to be red flagged. A fantastic battle in the ensuing few laps in the sprint to the end saw the lead change multiple times, but it ended up being a broken host's curse and Hazy that came through and won the race. There you see the starting lineup for this one. Clutter hopes for better fortunes this time, starting in front of Starry and Hazy. Momo and Shimmer are close behind, but we saw some big movers last year. Hazy had to move up 15 spots to win the race. Can anybody do that this time? We'll soon find out. Lights are on. And we're rolling! Clutter immediately moves to the inside, but doesn't have the speed coming through the first few turns. Stalls at the back. Yelle is far behind the field already. Clutter has fallen to second. Momo trails. Starry leads as they head into the far end through the helices. A 3-marble race. Then it's Minty Flav, who's moved up into 4th. Cerulean drops several spots there. Rapidly loses out to Arup. It's a 400th lead for Starry as they come up the belt, but Clutter gets the better jump and retakes the lead. Momo holding there in 3rd place. Cerulean, who was a big player in the race last year, trying to fend off Minty Flav. Starry drafts to the inside. Big burst of speed down that backstretch, but struggles through the helices and gives it right back to Clutter. Momo, Minty Flav, Cerulean, Arup, Swax moves up into 7th place. As I say that rapidly, passes up there. Then Orangin and Hazy round out the top 10. It's dropped precipitously for Hazy, fallen that far back, but it's Clutter and Starry dueling up front. Clutter holds the lead for now as they head down that backstretch, trying to get through the drop and the speed boost, missed the split, and then through the double right-hander into the helix. Clutter sets fastest lap and now has a 1-second lead. No, Minty Flav takes it. Minty Flav has that fastest lap, 18.679. Starry gets by into 2nd place, though. This has a slight gap for Clutter. The longer those two battle, the better it is for the leader. Nice little opportunistic move there for Arup, but it falls apart through the final 2 turns. Clutter comes up 0.9 of a second ahead of the Minty Maniacs, Minty Flav, who's challenged coming off of the belt. Arup is right there. Momo is right there as well. Then it's Starry. Momo falls back to 5th. Looking farther back, Yellow Eye has gained a few spots. This was the place that the Crazy Cat's Eyes could have clinched the championship last season, but did not do it. Hazy falling all the way back to 12th now. That lead coming down slightly for Clutter. Swax resets fastest lap at an 18.311. Through the winding first sector. Now on the right-hander and the drop down the backstretch. Clutter leading Minty Flav. A little gap back to Arup, who is challenged by Starry. Starry trying to get by, but immediately has to look back there. There's Momo. Arup loses a spot. That lead back up to 0.9 now for Clutter, who has managed this gap pretty well so far, but it's a long race. We are only just nearing the halfway point. Clutter, Minty Flav, Starry, Momo, Arup, Cerulean, Swax rapidly, Orangin, and Hazy rounding out the top 10. Yellow Eye's been making some moves. Bolt, Dash, Yelle, Pinky Toe, Mallard, Mocha, Alpine, Shimmer, and Wuspy. Big lead this time, 1.6 for Clutter, who's trying to stay as clean as possible to avoid a repeat of last season's disaster. The track, slightly different from last year, but memories are still fresh. Coming down the backstretch, Momo goes to the inside and takes that spot from Starry. That was a good move. And Momo immediately tries to challenge Minty Flav. They come together in the penultimate turn, and that gap Around 1 second again for Clutter. Momo perhaps gathering some momentum here. And look at this battle, right on for second place. Momo shadowing Minty Flav. Down the drop they come. In the draft, Momo goes to the inside, but this time Minty Flav seals it off. They take different lines through the helices, and that lets Starry get by both of them. Clutter, every once in a while, taking a peek over the shoulder just to see what's happening back there. But, oh, look at this, the lead has gone away. Clutter's lead, once seemingly managed and steady, has come down. Starry, Minty Flav battling again. That's going to let Clutter stretch it possibly. But handling these helices can make or break your lap, as we've seen for quite a few. Ooh, that was a hard impact there for Spex. Sent almost on top of the edges. We've seen several of the marbles do that. Clutter looking at Starry. Then it's a gap back to Minty Flav, who's now having to deal with Momo. Cerulean and Spex in the top 6. From the inside, then back out to the outside. That was very well managed through those helices. Clutter across the line. The lead over Starry, 1.29 seconds. Then it's a sizable gap back to Minty Flav and Cerulean. Midfield, though, a lot of shuffling back and forth. So many marbles that are trying to make some gains. There's a 3-marble battle into that one. Was that Pinky Toe, I believe, that came out the better of them? Yes, in front of Hazy and Bolt. Then Yellow Eye trying to get around them. Yellow Eye had gotten up to 11th and has fallen back since then. The lead now under half a second for Clutter. Just a few laps to go. Is Clutter going to be able to manage the endurance to hold on to this one? Minty Flav is starting to get a second wind, closing in on Starry, trying to catch that draft down the backstretch, and does by the end of the straight. Clutter over the line. Much closer now, 0.56 seconds. And then Starry, guess that's not too much closer than it was. But that lead is coming down. Minty Flav. And immediately sets sights on Clutter. Minty Flav gets the speed boost. Nice under braking for that double right-hander. Tries to make the move through the helices and does. But nice pass back. They're going to be side by side coming up the belt. Who gets the better jump? It is Clutter for now. Minty Flav looks to the inside there. Can't get that one done. Eyeing up to the drop. Trying to get in the draft. Clutter. Oh, that was a bump that Minty Flav seemed to hit and lost a tiny bit of momentum. Is this going to let Starry get ever closer? These are our podium spots for now. Cerulean trying to keep track of them. And it's Arup, Momo, Orange, and Spex, Yellup, and rapidly in the top 10. Clutter has seen several challenges back and forth, but has managed them very well. 2 laps to go. Around the final turn to begin the final lap. Clutter aiming for redemption at Misty Mountain. Through the first sector they come. Minty Flav doesn't seem to be closing up, but it's this backstretch where Minty Flav has made up so much ground. It's not going to happen this time. The helices. Final time around. Clutter goes from a DNF to a win at Misty Mountain. Pole to victory and a nice comeback. Minty Flav gets second, Starry gets third, and Cerulean, Orange, and Momo, Spex, rapidly Arup, and Yellup rounding out the top 10. Expertly navigated by Clutter through the mist and through significantly less chaos than last season. Origin did it at 2 Malt Turnpike. Now Clutter has gone wire to wire. Didn't lead every single lap. You can see a couple of those lines coming up to the lead instead. But that does not matter. It may not be a grand slam, but it is victory for Clutter and the Balls of Chaos. Clutter now moves to the top of the individual standings. We will see how that stands after the next race, when all marbles on each team will have the same number of Grand Prix beneath them. O'Rangers hold a 1-point lead over Balls of Chaos, then a gap back to the Minty Maniacs over Team Galactic. Still early days in what is already a compelling World Championship in Marbula 1. In the middle of the pack, Jelle, the best overtaker of today with 35 passes. Can anybody beat that? Next race, you'll have to subscribe and tune in to see. For a track that's undergone a great deal of changes over time, there is a comfortable familiarity about returning to the old raceway for Marbula 1. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. This track originally started 14 meters in length. It's a little bit different than that now, although it's quite a bit different than it was last season when it was trimmed to just 11.7. As we take a look at the entrance for this race, qualifying has been important here in the past. Who could forget that very first race where we had the incident with Waspy on the conveyor belt and then a wonderful run to the finish, Billy coming across and winning the race in front of Rapidly and Smoggy. Well, for this race in particular, things are a little different. Royal is our pole sitter. First time in Marbula 1 history for Royal. The Cobalts sitting up there on the front row alongside Red Eye. Cosmo, who had a great battle with Royal in qualifying, is also up there as well. Question is, who will make it to the end? And we're rolling! Royal holds off the field into the first couple of turns, opts for the inside line, and will carry it through the end of the first sector. A wonderful start for the Cobalts, not so much for Red Eye. Glimmer has shot through the field to get up to second place. Cosmo falling back to fourth in front of Bonbon. Prim back there as well, lost a bunch of spots on the sand, and now Glimmer gets by Royal exiting the sand and will lead coming onto the backstretch. Royal eyes up around that final turn, a big gap back to Bonbon in third place. They will be very close together as they come off of the belt, and possibly a better launch for Royal. There we see the field streaming off. Royal, head of steam, coming ever so close through that right-hander. Now back to the left. Under the track they come onto the sand. Royal into the draft. And Glimmer doing a great job there of holding Royal off, but they are one length apart and they come together. That stops Royal completely, and Bonbon will slip past. Red Eye holding fourth place. Thunder in fifth, then Crush, Mimo, Bumble, Iceberg, Wispy. Crush falling all the way back to 10th as I'm saying this. Speedy, Prim, Minty Fresh, Billy, Pinky Panther, Tumult, Clementon, Cosmo, and Yellow. As Glimmer holding off Bonbon, but here comes Royal once again onto the sand, trying not to make the exact same mistake, keeping off of the walls and almost tried to do an inside move there, but Bonbon able to defend. Now here comes Royal in the draft, but look back there, there's Mimo, probably 10 lengths back and closing. Going to be much closer coming off of the belt. In fact, Mimo is using that speed of what was a fastest lap to get there. This battle for second place, only a few lengths apart, all of them. Royal is right there, fuming at losing that spot with contact. All is legal in situations like that. It wasn't an untoward move. There are no charges coming from the Cobalt clan. And race control is not looking at it either. Royal will just have to suck it up and get going, but is going to have to get going much quicker because here comes Bonbon challenging for the lead. Just 1/10 of a second between them. How are they going to exit the belt? A little hop from Glimmer, and will that let Bonbon get by in the first sector? Oh, one length apart between them. They both opt to the inside there. Here comes Royal closing that gap once again. Red Eye has kind of been in no man's land back there, not really moving up or down. And here we go, Bonbon, inside, outside. Can't get it done. Too much contact with the walls. Perhaps better on the track here. Our top three, one length apart. Royal making it difficult for Bonbon, who gets sent forward, and there's contact. Bonbon takes the lead. Around the final turn, that was a great move as we are nearing the halfway point of this race. Through the double left-hander to start. Here comes Royal. Can't make that move stick. Just a bit too out of control for Royal to make that move work, and they've come together right there with Red Eye. And is right back on it. Royal is just seesawing back and forth, trying to get back up there. What an opportunity this was, starting on pole position. But Bonbon has done a great job of just being consistent enough. Glimmer weaving back and forth on the straight. Oh, they're going to be side by side. Who will launch better, Royal versus Glimmer? And it is the latter. Glimmer establishes that lead coming through that first sector once again. There's been so much going on at the front, we have to take a look at the back at some point. From fourth on down, it's Red Eye, Speedy, Iceberg, Bumble, Mimo, who still holds fastest lap, Thunder, Smoggy, Wispy, Crush, Minty Fresh, Prim, who just gets by a couple of spots, Cosmo, Billy, Pinky Panther, Tumult, Clementon, and Yellow. Meanwhile, back up front, the battle continues. It looked like Royal was setting up Glimmer for a move in the final turn, but not so much. A couple of tenths back. 3 tenths between Bon Bon and Glimmer, first and second. Oh, but that's come down greatly. Glimmer is in the lead in front of Bon Bon. Here comes Red Eye. Bon Bon having to throw the blocks down to keep Royal behind. Through the sand they come. For as treacherous as the sand has been, we haven't seen it make or break too many positions thus far. Good move there, Speedy, holding in 5th spot in front of Iceberg and Bumble after starting 12th. Down this backstretch, which has given us some great overtaking opportunities so far. 3, 4 marbles, all challenging, and they're going to come up the belt. Who's going to get off better? Glimmer leaves the belt first. Royal gets by into second place. Tries to make a move and gets shouldered to the side. Bon Bon wants it back. Red Eye is also right there. More contact in that hairpin, and that spreads him out. Bon Bon with a tiny bit of breathing room. Here comes Royal, trying to size up Glimmer. What a phenomenal race this has been so far, and it's far from done. Speedy keeping an eye back there, waiting for something to happen, and perhaps pounce on an opportunistic move. Bon Bon's lead is gone. 0.05 of a second. Glimmer and Bon Bon going to come off the belt, step apart. Royal is trying not to lose touch with him, slightly slower through the final few turns and up the conveyor belt. Around the right-hander, onto the sand. Nobody has really mastered the sand and just shot through everyone, at least those among the leaders. Here comes Speedy, closing in on Red Eye for 4th spot. Down the backstretch they come. Royal with a slightly better exit. That gap has closed down. Just under 2 tenths between Glimmer and Royal as we take a look farther back in the field. Those are the last place runners, Pinky Panther and Clementon, 11 seconds behind our leader. This is a very long lap, though, so I don't think anybody is going to be in grave danger of being lapped anytime soon. Hard hits off the wall there. Royal and Red Eye are very close as a result. But Royal, once those sights get set on that marble up ahead, this is exactly what happens. Oh, almost thought about sending it down the inside. But we'll have to wait for the final lap. Or at least the end of the penultimate lap. Slow out of that turn. Royal picked the wrong side of the split and has lost a spot behind Red Eye, who also gets by Glimmer. Red Eye saving the best for last. Bon Bon is trying to dance off into the distance. Royal perhaps mounted too many challenges, could not keep up the speed and the endurance. Bon Bon will round the final turn to begin the final lap. Red Eye, nearly 2 seconds back. Glimmer and Royal are going to be fighting for best of the rest unless it all comes undone for Bon Bon. Oh, some good battles right back there. Is that Speedy falling behind Bumble? Speedy has gone backward here. Mimo, in the meantime, holds that fastest lap still, as all eyes are on Bon Bon for the marble that started on the second row in 4th place. Through that chute, Red Eye trying to mount a challenge, but victory will be sweet for Bon Bon and the Chocolatiers. Red Eye gets second, then Glimmer. Oh, and Speedy passes Bumble at the last corner. That was a good move there. Mimo will hold fastest lap. Royal will miss the podium after a gallant effort in qualifying and could not keep it going throughout this race. Overall, though, how fun was that? Such great moves. I don't even know how we pick what replays to show, because we should just rewind and rewatch this entire race. There was one of the moves for the lead, and Bon Bon at the top. Prim, on the other hand, another 0 point in dead last. I can tell you, Team Primary's coach is not very happy, but everybody up there certainly is. Bonbon has never won in Marbula 1, but the Sweet Speedster has done it here at the O Raceway. Demure fans in the O'Rangers sections. And Clementon sitting down there in 16th spot. Origin up there in 3rd in the overall standings, but this was not the home race that they had hoped for. They still do hold the top spot in the championship, but only by 1. Crazy Cat's Eyes lurking now in 3rd. Cobalt's jumped up to 5th. Minty Maniacs trending downward. We thank you for joining us here in Orlando, and we hope to see you next time. So long, everyone. If you weren't with us in qualifying, Q1 showed that this massive and lengthy track can test the marbles in many different ways. Q2, in the 3-lap shootout for pole, showed that it can be one devilish racetrack to try to master. And that's what several marbles have done as we begin to enter the point in the season where some teams are opting to keep the same marble racing from 1 week to a second week. Of course, you have to compete in the same number by the end of the season as your teammate, but at this point, we have seen some strategy calls for 4 teams. We'll touch on that later. 15 meters is this lap length. There will be 11 laps in the race, and we'll see who manages to come out on top. Trending well of late is last year's individual champion, Red Eye, in front of a 2-time race winner in Origin. Red Eye, though, has been the class of the field when it comes to qualifying, with runs of 4th, 2nd, and 1st. The lights are on. And we're rolling. Red Eye comes to the inside to shoulder out the rest of the field, but Origin gets by, and then Red Eye bumps against the curb. That immediate, oh, what is this? We've got an unknown marble on the track at the start of the race. It's been red flagged immediately. What is going on here? The conveyor belt is stopped. That will allow the security to get up there. The safety marble does not even need to be deployed. I'm not even really sure what's happening for the order at the moment, but Red Eye has fallen back to 3rd place and now gets around Mocha into 2nd, but the scoring pylon is frozen. That makes me think that everything after the red flag will not count. Race control deciding what to do. The fan marble that apparently did come from the stands has been arrested and removed off the belt at this point. But this has thrown quite a wrench into the works here. Although race control saying they're going to keep the starting positions the same since we only got a few corners in, they're not going to count it as a racing lap. And here you see that fan marble coming through the final 2 turns and getting up onto the belt. It's made the crowd a bit anxious and perhaps a bit frustrated as well. So the lap counter shows 1 out of 11 as we're back up at the starting line, and lights are on and we are rolling again, and Origin falls back into 2nd place. Red Eye is nowhere to be seen. Cerulean, I believe, is up into 3rd spot, and Dash is in 4th. Bolt, Clutter, and Red Eye fallen all the way back to 6th. So this has done a massive switch around of the entire field. But the good thing is, with a lap this long, it may not have impacted the race all that much, and that was a wonderful setup by Origin to retake the lead and try to stretch off into the distance, but Clutter says not so fast. Right there through the 3rd sector, and they begin to enter that tree-lined boulevard for the first time. Dash in 3rd, Red Eye gets by up into 4th spot, but contact right there. Red Eye and Cerulean are very close. Bolt went backwards, and Alpine moves up into 6th. Alpine gets by into 5th. This battle for 2nd place, very close now. That was a good move. I believe that was Cerulean fending off a challenge from Alpine and took a different line to make it stick here. It is fighting for 2nd place, has it in front of Clutter and Cerulean. Dash now trying to chase down Origin. Positions changing all the time as they go through the slalom. Clutter comes out in front ahead of Dash and Origin still, but this is all over the place right now. I think people are still reeling from that track invasion, trying to figure out how to manage the energy that goes into the normal start of a Grand Prix. Clutter with a good exit off of the belt here. And a nice challenge coming from Dash, who is attempting to close up, weaving through this back and forth start to the lap. 15 meters is this track, and off the chevron, both of the top two go with a healthy gap back to third place Origin. Cerulean is in a battle there with Bolt and Redeye, and Redeye sneaks by and also has Origin to get by into second place. So we take a look farther back in the field. Behind Alpine in sixth, it's Shimmer, Mallard, Bolt, Arup, Yellow, Mimo, Minty Flave, Cosmo, Mocha, Rapidly, Swax, Wuspy, Smoggy, and Pinky Toe. Back at the front, Origin has set the fastest lap of the race and is holding up into second place after starting in second, but goodness knows, don't know if you can count all that much because of the craziness that we had at the beginning. But again, long race, anything can happen. Redeye is also recovering nicely up into third, getting by Dash there, faking out and drawing Dash one way before juking the other. And Redeye has had a wonderful run through the slaloms in qualifying and continuing in the race, and that has let that marble close up to Origin. Clutter comes through and sets fastest lap, what you want to do as a leader, but it's stolen away by Arup down in fifth with a 35.024. Oh, and it's very close between second and third. Redeye, focusing so much on second place, almost lost position. And Redeye is forced to drop back and try to cover Arup, who is coming with increasing speed as the laps go along. Cerulean is also keeping pace with Arup from Team Primary as they come down here through the slalom bumpers once again, and Redeye has lost out. Arup gets by up into third spot. Not often that you see Redeye getting caught off guard through a very strong sector of the track like that. And Origin has cut that lead down. What was 1.44 is now well under a second. There you can see the gap. Clutter looking slightly nervous at the head of the field, coming out of the first sector. Off the chevron, they're both taking the same wide line through that turn. Now this sharper one, Clutter losing some speed. Off of the bumpers there. Redeye also getting out of sorts and loses to Arup, but gets it back one straight later. It just shows the speed in a straight line that these crazy cat's eyes have and have since last season. 3/10 is roughly the lead from Clutter to Origin. Lap 7. Then it's Redeye, Arup, Cerulean, Alpine, Dash, Mallard, Bolt, and Shimmer rounding out the top 10. These three positions have gone back and forth, narrowing the gaps and increasing them. Oh, who was that? That was Shimmer getting out of sorts in the first sector and losing a couple of spots. I believe Yelle got by, maybe also Dash. Redeye, a nice move to get into second and immediately is chasing down Clutter for the lead. Step for step they come, roll for roll out onto the boulevard, through the double left-hander to end the lap. They're going to be very close, a tenth of a second between them. Then it's a gap back to Origin. Alpine has taken fastest lap. Redeye trying to make the move there, but can't do it. Contact sends Redeye backwards. Won't lose a spot from that if momentum can be regained. But Clutter isn't afraid to get those elbows out. We take a look at how the field is spread. Origin trying to get in the draft of Redeye. Navigating the bumpers not very cleanly either. Arup is only 2 lengths back. Cerulean, Alpine also having their own little battle while hoping to make up some ground at the front. Meanwhile, at the very front, at the point of this field, Clutter comes off the belt, weaving back and forth. It was a 7/10 or thereabouts lead, but Redeye, trying to stay off of that curb and unsuccessful in doing so, is attempting to catch sight of that lead marble and get ever closer with a few laps to go. Under the bridge they come. Redeye moves to the outside. Can't get that one done. Oh, and as a result, is well out of sorts and position through those bumpers. That has let Origin close within a length. Tries to look to the outside. Now moves to the inside. Redeye blocks. Both navigate those double left-handers really well, and Redeye and Origin will be very close as they come off of the belt. Redeye, I think, got the better step, but let's see. Off of those curbs, they've come together once again, and the same move that was laid down from Clutter to Redeye is gifted to Origin, sending that marble backwards into the clutches of Arup, who gets by in that kink. Clutter rides over some of those curbs. Redeye tries to do the same. I'm not sure that was the quicker way to do it because a cleaner pass by Origin has allowed the O'Rangers to get in touch with the top two. Across the line they come to begin the final lap. Half a second lead for Clutter from the Balls of Chaos. Red Eye and Origin also in the hunt. Arup maybe with an outside chance. That lead is coming down. Clutter, Origin, Red Eye in between. They are almost equidistant right now. Through the first sector they come. Two left-handers. What will the bumpers serve up for the final time? Red Eye shoots to the lead, saving the best for last, and Origin gets by. Clutter, chaotic through that section. Red Eye, it may not be wire to wire, but starting first and finishing first sounds pretty good. The top two finish as they started. Clutter comes from 8th and finishes 3rd. What is Rapidly doing? Rapidly dancing around all over the finish. I guess was decently happy with that run. I'm not sure. Starting in 17th, Rapidly really didn't move up that much. Perhaps took one too many hits coming down that course. Now, Alpine captures fastest lap and gets a point from it. But what a run from the Crazy Cat's Eyes and Red Eye in particular. Back at Sleet Street, qualified 4th, finished 2nd, goes 2nd to 2nd at the Raceway, 1 race ago. And I think the Crazy Cat's Eyes made the right decision putting Red Eye in off sequence to get this win. Now, the part before the red flag does not count for the race, just as a reminder. And look at that, 70 points, 3 podiums. The leader of the individual championship after the first half of the season, 4 clear of Clutter, who held the race lead for most of this entire Grand Prix until that lap 10 incident. The Crazy Cat's Eyes move up into first spot over the O'Rangers, and Balls of Chaos, Cobalts, move up into 4th. Minty Maniacs fall to 5th. Well, this is just the first half of the season. Next, we go to the Honey Dome, the home of the Bumblebees. We hope to see you there. Subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, everyone. Maybe you've heard the buzz about this race and this racetrack. Well, fear not. You don't have to worry about a sting because we're all friends here at the Honey Dome. Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm Greg Woods. Will Bumble be the one to lift the host curse here at the home for the Bumblebees and, for this year, the Hornets as well? Bumble has made up more spots than any other marble in the entire field through 2 races, 19 of them. The question is, where will Bumble end today? Starting down in 16th spot. Yellow Eye, in the meantime, had the best qualifying of the season so far for that marble after qualifications of 12th and 17th. The marble trying to keep pace, but will have a staunch opponent up on the front row with Royal alongside as we are ready to get going. Lights are on here at the Honey Dome. And we're rolling. A great getaway for Yellow Eye, but goes high on the curbs just like we saw in qualifying for the pole sitter there. Bumble, look at Bumble, already up to 6. That is a tremendous start. Yellow Eye falling backward as the battle now has evolved into Royal versus Crush. As I say that, Wispy through that kink into the hive gets 2nd spot. Here comes Yellow Eye again, fighting for the 3rd, trying to get into the 2nd spot as well. But look at Bumble into 4th now. That's a tremendous first lap, the likes of which we haven't seen in ages. The crowd going absolutely crazy. It's Royal, Wispy, Crush, Bumble, Starry, and then our pole sitter Yellow Eye. Hazy, Thunder, Tumult, and Iceberg rounding out the top 10. It's a healthy lead for Royal. Wispy in 2nd spot there as they descend through the hive. Also has a gap back to Bumble in 3rd spot. Yes, that is Bumble in 3rd. Starry going side by side with Yellow Eye as they come up the belt. Guarding the inside there. Oh, also getting into the fray, that's Thunder. We saw Thunder making some good moves in the qualification race, or the shootout for pole in Q2 in qualifying on Friday. This lead, in the meantime, after setting fastest lap for Royal, is a huge one. Down that backstretch. Oh, thought about making a move there, did Thunder, but couldn't get by Wispy. There they're going to come across the line, very close to each other, 0.08 apart. Who gets the better jump? Wispy stays in front. Oh, Crush comes out of nowhere in the first sector and briefly took third spot. Bumble is up to second. Look at the marbles as they descend through the bee dance portion of this circuit, otherwise known as the waggle. Tripping up slightly through the hive was Thunder, who looked to be poised to make a run on Crush. As they come across the line there. In the meantime, what has happened to Momo? Started in third spot and is now all the way down in 18th. That is unbelievably poor for a marble that's not used to doing that. Royal, every once in a while, taking a peek behind, but can't see anybody until Bumble descends through the bee dance. Oh, has a challenge there from Crush, who got a bit overexerted and lost third spot. Thunder and Yellow Eye and Starry all get by as they draft down the backstretch. Bumble trying to buck history and break the host's curse that for so many has proved to be their undoing. We've seen hosts do well sometimes, but what can that yellow and black marble do in front of the home fans? Running a very solid line there. Here comes Yellow Eye on Starry once again. They're a length apart as they come down the backstretch. Yellow Eye goes to the inside and I believe got the move done before the line. Yes, indeed. Off the belt they come, but Starry fights right back and goes to the inside, now back to the outside as they go around the split. That was a nice duel between them. The lead for Royal, who set fastest lap a while ago and really hasn't had to push since then. That's boding well for late race stamina. Not having to push is an advantage halfway through this race. Yellow Eye weaving back and forth, trying to keep Wispy behind, who is just a little over a tenth back. This is a nice run by Wispy, who's right up there with Starry as they head into the bee dance. Bumble's gap has also come down from second to third. As we look at the marbles descending there, Prim and Bonbon well off the back of the pack here. Yellow Eye gets by. And you see Clementine in a good battle with Crush in front of Thunder, who had been running up at the front as well. Iceberg and Tumult back behind. Take a look at the bottom half of the order. It's Speedy, Momo, who has recovered, Yellow, Hazy, Pinky Panther, Minty Fresh, Billy, Glimmer, Prim, and Bonbon. I say recovery for Momo. 12th is not third place, but it's definitely not 18th either. Royal holds the lead here at the Honey Dome. If you're just joining us, did not start on pole either. Did start in second, however. But Bumble, the talk of the track right now. After starting down in 16th spot, Bumble up to second, and everybody here in the stands, whether you are a Bumblebee, a Hornet, or a fan of marble racing in general, is wondering if Bumble can bring it home, but right now has to worry about a marble coming from behind. That's Starry. Appropriately, Bumble does well through the hive, but not through that sharp right-hander, forcing to go defensive as they come up the belt side by side. Royal, in the meantime, did I see that right? The lead is over 6 seconds. And there was the move. I was just about to say Starry got by, but Bumble said not so fast. Bumble holds second spot, but gets a bit disjointed coming through the waggle. Starry has to react and is now fallen back into the clutches of Wispy. The three of them all close together. Now Wispy gets by through the hive. That is a safe spot for Bumble. And now Yellow Eye wants a piece of the action. Fourth place, vying for third. What a commanding lead for Royal with just a couple of laps to go. Bumble hoping to dispatch some of the marbles behind to make a charge up front, but is running out of time and looks to be running out of energy as well. Here comes Wispy on Bumble. Through the chicane, into the hive, they came together, and that really slowed Wispy. Yellow Eye getting bombastic through those turns, trying to gain over Wispy. Starry did get by, but then Wispy able to collect and regain third spot. Yellow Eye up into fourth as they come off the belt, tried to make the move there. It wasn't open. Bumble now has some breathing room. Is on the overpass above Royal, who is streaking into the distance, almost ready to begin the final lap. we've had some great races this season in Marbula 1. Here comes Yellow Eye to the inside. That was blocked off by Clementon, who made a great 13th lap and is now on the podium with 1 to go. Royal, Bumble, Clementon, Yellow Eye, Starry, Wispy, and Momo are all right there. Momo continues to move back up the pack after that disastrous start. Yellow Eye holding off a train. This gives Clementon a chance to hold on to the podium, but Royal, weaving back and forth in celebration, will coast across the line, going second to first, but listen to the roar for Bumble. Second place for the home squad. Clementon gets third, Yellow Eye fourth, Starry in Galak fifth, Wispy, Thunder, Iceberg, Momo, and Hazy. Here comes Bonbon. We're still waiting for Prim. It's a bit embarrassing at this point. Here comes Prim. 29 seconds behind what was a peerless performance, a royal performance. 25.152 was fastest lap all the way on lap 3. That was when, Royal actually had some competition. But what a game. Bumble, 16th to 2nd. For the Marble that I said coming in has passed more competitors than any other. Will add to that total. Pinky Panther actually had 25 overtakes in this race alone. That's a great total, although Pinky Panther had gained just 2 through 2 races prior to this. There you see the lap chart. The move was made early on. Crazy Cat's eyes plummeted as we take a look back at the start. A momentary hesitation. Yellow Eye tried to move to the inside, but the same thing happened to the leader here as what happened in Q2, getting shoved high onto the curbs by going to the inside there and taking a bit too much momentum. Well, in the meantime, we're going to have a mid-break of Marbula 1. Please stay focused on the updates coming up. Yellow's Marble runs on Reddit and Twitter as we take a look at the current standings. Red Eye holds the top spot, 4 clear of Clutter and Origin, who have not moved. Royal's performance today vaults up 4 spots into 4th in front of Starry in, or else 5th. The Crazy Cat's eyes, 2-point lead. Anything can happen in the second half of the season, especially an 8-spot jump like we saw for the Bumblebees. Please subscribe for more. We will see you next time. The relaxation of the mid-season break gives way to the intensity, renewed once more, here at the Mo Motorway. Welcome everyone to the home of dumplings. Well, and of course, Team Momo, as we're here in Ohm. I'm Greg Woods, welcoming you to a track that is famous for its speeds and what has tended to be quite entertaining races over the first 2 seasons of Marbula 1. There are our competitors, who the teams have chosen, all on a similar level of restedness coming off of that break. Some will have been pulling double duty compared to the last round, but it won't matter too much after that long of time off. It wasn't all relaxation for these teams, however. They are ready to go in the land of sand and surf and good food as well. The track, relatively unchanged from the past, just a drop added in place of a speed boost. Prim has been on pole before back in Season 1, lost the lead at the start, and did the same thing in Q2 for this race. Well, will Prim make the same mistake over Cosmo, Clementon, and Shimmer, who make out the first 2 rows? We're about to find out. The lights are on. And we're rolling, and it's a great start for Prim. Covers off the rest of the field with Cosmo. It was a great start by Cerulean, who got by Dash. Oh, and there's Yellow Eye getting up into 4th spot as we see Cosmo go to the inside. Makes a good run off the turn, but Prim has it covered through the drop for the first time. What does that do to the field? Well, Yellow Eye gets up in the 3rd spot and is trying to make a move up there into 2nd for first. Through the first with the double right-handers. A loss of speed for Prim coming out of the first one, and Yellow Eye has the lead. The Marble that ran the race well last year loses that P1 spot coming off of the ramp to begin the 2nd lap. Slow down through the first sector. Opting for the inside this time is Prim, and that's a good run by Dash to get up into 2nd place. Hits the attenuator and loses all speed, however, and Yellow Eye and Cerulean are passed, and they're nose astern with Prim as they come down the old pit straight. Yellow Eye in the draft. They all bump off of the curbs. Yellow Eye, a cheeky move to get into first spot. And Shimmer from the Shining Swarm sets fastest lap. Prim has fallen back to third. Now, this was the normal starting position, basically, for Prim in the last time that Prim was on pole, and also in the start of Q2 for earlier this weekend. Can Prim recover, however? Dash is running a strong race up at the front through this lap, however. And Yellow Eye, close behind, perhaps just saving a bit of speed, knowing that Prim is falling backward, not going to be a challenge as much. Shimmer in third. Dash coming off the belt with Yellow Eye, and then a big gap back to third spot. Mallard has gotten up into fourth. Green Ducks have run well here in the past, even if it's only temporarily in those races. Sometimes they do have good finishes, however. Shimmer now with Wispy close behind. And look at this gap that Dash has. Nearly a full straight clear of Yellow Eye. We're not used to that. And Dash, in doing so, sets fastest lap, 24.340. That's a good time from what we've seen compared to the qualifiers. Looking a little farther down the order, past Yellow Eye, it's Cerulean, Wispy, Mallard, Cosmo, Prim now back into 8th spot, Iceberg, the home favorite Mimo in 10th, as I say that, 11th, falling behind Bolt. Then Clementon, Yellow, Swax, Iceberg had a big precipitous drop there. Minty Flav, Bonbon, Rapidly, Pinky Toe, Hazy, and Clutter. The lead in the meantime has come down. It is a second and change for Dash, but this time it's over Shimmer, Yellow Eye, Cerulean, Cosmo, and Wispy. Prim gets a spot back up into 7th spot. The lead about 10 lengths for Dash, opting for the outside line there. Yellow Eye goes to the inside. That was a nice little move there. Was that Prim, I think, getting by? Well, maybe didn't gain too many more spots taking that inside line compared to the outside. On to the front stretch. The top two, a bit more separation to Yellow Eye than we had before, but the lead up top has come down. In fact, it's been halved down to 0.57 seconds, and we missed it. I think Shimmer got the lead coming off the belt. Shimmer has it and is descending through the first sector. There you see, onto the backstretch. Ooh, a bump for the attenuator, and that is an opportunistic move by Dash to get by. You have to stay focused at the Mo Motorway. Hopefully these marbles have watched past races to learn that is absolutely the case. Ooh, to the inside. That was a jolt on that inside curb. And Dash and Shimmer stay that way as they come up the conveyor belt. Midway through this race, contact in these winding sets of corners. Both of them going to the inside. I think Shimmer was waiting to see if Dash was going to switch and go outside before committing to that turn. Yellow Eye, in the meantime, holds third spot over Cosmo, although those two are very close together, and Cosmo gets by into the far hairpin. Will Yellow Eye try to make it back by? Not this time. And the lead, 0.3 of a second. Dash over Shimmer. The Turtle Sliders are looking for some success here. This is a good battle developing, though, between several marbles that are all very close together. I don't want to say in the midfield, but look at this. Shimmer to the outside. Cosmo is also there. Dash gets trapped and loses the lead. Shimmer gets by, as does Cosmo into that far hairpin. Weaving back and forth there, Hazy eyeing up Mallard. Those two have a bit of contact in the braking zone, and that sends the former backwards. Shimmer, Cosmo, Dash, and Yellow Eye, you see, working their way through this first sector. Ooh, Wispy and Yellow were very close. Yellow, of course, has done very well here in the past, winning last season. Will it be a repeat this time? Still a few laps for Yellow to get up there, but it's Yellow and Yellow Eye who are now next to each other on track. Shimmer's lead has grown over Cosmo. Dash also sees Yellow Eye closing up. Those two have a bit of contact as they come up the belt. The top four staying lockstep. Taking a bit more curb was Yellow Eye. That's a daring move. It can be risk-reward at this track. Oh, and they've all come together from second back through fourth. They all opt for the inside line there. Through the drop. What used to be the speed boost. Slightly different lines through that hairpin. Trying to manage speed off the exit was Cosmo, hoping to lay down a good defense against Yellow Eye, and does through the end of the lap at least. Where is the hopes of the home crowd? Mimo, 7th place right now. Just a brief glance right there. A late decision by Dash, once again, to go to the inside here, now to the outside. Cosmo follows, but I don't think that was the faster way around. Yellow Eye is ever so tantalizingly close to getting back up to second spot. But it just keeps falling away, and Cosmo making some mistakes. Yellow in fifth, Nemo now up to sixth, Mallard, Wispy, Rapidly Clementon, Hazy Cerulean, Swax Iceberg, Prim, our pole sitter, Clutter, Bolt, Bonbon, Pinky Toe, and Minty Flave. Just a couple of laps remaining. That was a hard impact by Cosmo. That's going to cost that marble third spot. Tries to have a comeback, but doesn't make it stick that time. This lead is coming down. Dash from the Turtle Sliders is finding some recomposition, and they're going to be side by side as they exit the belt. Who gets the better jump? And it is Dash. Yellow Eye also wants to pounce and get by what is a struggling Shimmer through the first sector. Yellow Eye goes to the inside. Has second place for now, but what will Exit Speed do? Good job covering the inside. This lets Dash get off into the distance with a bit bigger a lead, coming through the old pit straight. And now around the turn to begin the final lap. Dash for the Turtle Sliders, whose previous best finish was fourth back at Tumult Turnpike, but has finishes of 20th and 10th since then. It isn't a done deal, though. Yellow Eye battling with Shimmer. Can Yellow Eye mount the comeback? Around the hairpin onto the backstretch. Dash through the drop. The Turtle Sliders have needed a great result, and this may be the marble to give it to them, and what a track to do it at the Mo Motorway. It's Dash who wins the race. Yellow Eye comes second, Shimmer third, and a big cheer for a top 10 finish in Mimo, who gets 8th. Mimo's best finish had been 5th, did an 8th back at Sleet Street, but was 12th at Mellow Meadows, and that was a good finish, but what a great weekend for the Turtle Sliders. First Grand Prix win in Marbula 1, and fastest lap as well. Back on lap 4, that 24.230, good enough for a point. Also shout out to last year's race winner, Yellow Eye, finishing in second place, and Shimmer, given the best result of the year for the Shining Swarm in third. And look at Dash here. Getting up to the top spot, immediately putting in a fastest lap, fell down for a little while, but some great moves to get back up there. This was early on. Prim did not have a wonderful race at all, but that was a decisive move going to the inside, keeping the speed up, going to the inside at the split, and through the drop. I would say Turtle Sliders actually managed most parts of that racetrack pretty well, and congratulations to them. Looking at the racers' standings, Clutter has regained the lead from Red Eye, despite this being Clutter's track. Only 1 point ahead. Also, Red Eye has one fewer race than what Clutter has run, so we'll have to see what Crazy Cat's Eyes can do in the remaining rounds now that we are after the break. You do see down below some marbles that cannot win the championship. They are the first to be eliminated. As we look at the overall standings, Crazy Cat's Eyes do extend the lead over the Orangers. No movement in any of the top 6, but that one victory for the Turtle Sliders vaults them 10 up into 7th. And oh, Pinky's just 8 points dead last, and losing ground quickly. That is not ideal. Well, with several rounds still to go, there is a lot to play for, even though some marbles have been eliminated from the championship position. How is yours doing? Subscribe and stay tuned to find out how the rest of this third season of Marbula 1 will play out. From Ohm and the Mo Motorway, I thank you for watching, everybody. So long. They say in space, no one can hear you scream. But the marbles here today at the Stardust Accelerator are going to try to give you something to shout about. Welcome, everyone, to this revamped circuit. I'm Greg Woods, as we are at the home of Team Galactic. Don't worry, there's air here. We're not weightless. The mothership has landed, and it has brought with it a load of fans that are here in the stands today. Oh yeah, and that accelerator is working. A huge revamp of this circuit over the last couple of years. Oh, and who can conserve energy and momentum through this Grand Prix? Well, we're about to find out. Red Eye on pole, where we've seen that marble often, it seems like, or at least battling up on that front row. Not so for the likes of Pinky Panther. Best qualifying of the entire season, starting in 3rd on the 2nd row. And hey, Galactic not in 5th. Starry will start in 4th. You see the right-hander that awaits them as we get ready. Lights are on. And we're rolling. Red Eye and Waspy go into the turn, but Waspy's already lost a spot. Mocha is into the lead from 7th place. Bounding off the walls, we see a pass there. That is Tumult that gets by as they shoot through the accelerator for the first time. Lots of marbles taking that inside line as we head through these wormholes. Who comes out in front on the other side? We've not seen a direct comparison of which way is faster. It is Arup battling for Tumult and the lead. Waspy hanging in 3rd spot. Is that Billy up there? Yes, Billy in 4th battling with Mocha. Here comes Mocha with a nice draft down that backstretch and across the line to come up the belt. Mocha will start this lap in 4th. A gap developing in the meantime between Tumult and Arup, and Mocha with a dive bomb move averted there from Billy. Waspy and Smoggy coming next, and it's Speedy, Starry, Minty Fresh, who started dead last, and Royal in the top 10. Pinky Panther all falling down to 12th after that amazing qualifying. Here comes a charge through the wormholes. We've not seen any passing there. I don't know that it's wide enough to do so, but look at how that accelerator flays the field. Through the far turn, Tumult will cross the line first. This is an 11-lap race. It's a long lap at that, and right on cue, we see how long, 31.367 for Smoggy from the Hazers. It's Tumult and Arup, though, who are out in front as we see, bringing up the back of the field, that's Jelle behind Crush, who's behind Alpine. Oh, Origin all the way down there in 17th. Oh, hard hit of that attenuator right there. I'm not sure who that was as the camera cut away. Here's Billy, side by side with Arup coming out of those tubes, and Billy from the Green Ducks has the lead. Arup, then it's Smoggy, and a train developing from Mocha, Tumult, Starry, Speedy, and Glimmer. Here comes Royal. That was a pass right before the line there, I believe. We just saw it briefly. Oh, difficulty for Crush getting onto that conveyor belt. And is in dead last as a result. Can't fall too much farther than that. But look at this lead that Billy has amassed. Oh, it actually goes too sharp into the turn. We've seen several marbles do this. I think that sense of anticipation of trying to get going is getting the best of them. They opt for that inside line at the split, and they end up bounding right over the divider and heading into the far lane. That widens the turn. It's not the quickest way around. We'll have to see how that develops and if these marbles can rein it in as we begin to settle in now toward the midway point of this race. Billy's lead is huge, but the battle beyond that is an intriguing one. Arup, Tumult, Mocha. Speedy is also trying to stay with them. You see the back of the field now. And Red Eye all the way back into 15th spot. My goodness, we're not used to this. Here's another battle developing coming out of those tubes. As we get another fastest lap, this time it's reset by a wide margin. It's Billy with a 29.566. The lead over Arup is over 3.5 seconds. Now we saw some almighty splits in qualifying between the fastest and the slowest marbles. Massive gaps that we are so not used to in Marbula 1. It's a testament to the difficulty of this track because it has so many different elements. You see some marbles now that are finally getting into that rhythm of just going to the outside there because it's so tough to rein in speed as you try to go to the inside. But that was a nice move there from Crush, who is battling with Alpine, who does make that stick. Through lap 7 now, the lead has grown to 5.5 seconds for Billy from the Green Ducks. Billy's previous best finish came in the first Grand Prix that Billy competed in. That was at Sleet Street, and a finish of 13th. Now, still, a few laps to go here, so you got to keep that speed going. But in the meantime, we haven't seen a ton of changes and close battles now as the field begins to spread out. As I say that, coming down the backstretch, that was a nice charge, I think, from Pinky Panther. Origin, I know, was in the middle of it, but I think Pinky Panther just gained a few spots. This is also a good battle there. You see Speedy going to the inside, trying to get around Smoggy and Glimmer, and coming across the line here. All of these marbles are 10 seconds behind Billy. You look farther back, 15, 16 seconds across 8 laps. That's 2 seconds a lap. That is pretty astounding. As we take a peek farther back, there is Origin from the Orangers, absolutely struggling. Bumble right behind. Crush still in last place, trying to get the speed boost off the accelerator. As we see a wide look at the field, Billy has crossed the line with just a couple of laps remaining. What is the gap to Arup, who comes across now? It stayed about the same in that 5.5 to 6 second range. Tumult farther back than 7 seconds. Mocha, who came up from 7th place. That was a fine start, by the way. We'll have to check that out in replay, because that was pretty amazing. Tumult, in the meantime, came from 5th and is sitting up in 3rd spot. Smoggy, who's there in 5th, came all the way back from 14th at the start. You see the planets rotating as these marbles circle round and round. The Stardust Accelerator, that was a nice use of momentum and energy, speaking of that Newton's Cradle at the beginning, that saw Origin make a couple of moves. I believe that gap stayed around 5 seconds in the meantime as we are on the penultimate lap. Here we see Billy entering the accelerator, opting for that middle line, getting the speed boost, and doing the same thing, just careening over the divider, entering on what is, I think, an early apex in that turn. There is Crush, battling with Bumble. As we take a peek farther up the order, this is Arup and Tumult, Smoggy right behind. Billy has started the final lap. What about the other podium spots? Battles going on farther back there. You see that train developing. That's Starry, who a lot of eyes have been on, but we haven't talked about all that much because Starry, who had that good starting position, has fallen back, much like Red Eye, who went to the bottom of the order, or toward the bottom of the order, and has recovered up in a 9th. In the meantime, though, Billy nearing the end of this lap and the end of this race, and what a peerless performance it was. There we see the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Arup and Tumult. Billy crosses the line and wins the race. In the meantime, Arup and Tumult, they come together, coming around that final turn. Who will get it across the line? And Arup holds on to 2nd spot in front of Tumult. 0.07 of a second was all the difference. Still waiting for marbles to finish. Here comes Bumble and Crush. 23 seconds in 11 laps. My goodness. Billy did not have the greatest starting position, but had a very strong early part of that race and only got stronger as it went along. And Billy did this, by the way, after starting in 15th. It was not a strong starting position, but already by lap 5, Billy had made the move a lap or two earlier and was stretching it from there. Also got fastest lap. That is 26 points. And that is awesome to see if you are a Green Ducks fan who has been perhaps frustrated at the way that things have gone over the course of this season. Here was the head-to-head battle coming out of the wormholes. But Billy taking the 3rd win in that marbles career here in Marbula 1. The kid stands on the top step of the podium. Tumult and Arup also pretty happy with their finishes too. Tumult had finishes of 11th, 17th, and 15th. Not ideal for where they wanted to be. Arup, in the meantime, 3rd place back at Tumult Turnpike, but had gone 9th and 4th since then. Comes from 9th to finish on the podium here. Beneath that mysterious, swirling galaxy globe, we find ourselves headed off to the next round of Marbula 1. But in the meantime, our game got its update with Story Mode. I'm pretty much there joining you in your quest for victory at Jelle's Marble League. Follow the link in the video's description to get that game on Steam. As we take a look at our current standings now, dead even, Red Eye is the individual champion leader in front of Clutter and Royal. Origin 4 points back, and then Arup, Starry also in the hunt, but you see a lot more red. Those marbles cannot win the championship anymore. They are statistically eliminated. So 26 marbles remain in contention. Crazy Cat's Eyes still hold the lead despite a less than stellar performance from Red Eye. The Orangers in 2nd place. Balls of Chaos have jumped up into 3rd. There could be a lot of twists and turns still remaining in this season. Where will it go from here? Billy has now won a race in every season of Marbula 1. Who will put their name in the win column next? 8 rounds down in the Marbula 1 season, and we hope that you will join us for all of the remaining. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Until next time, so long. As we head into the home stretch of the Marbula 1 season, we reach the Short Circuit, a track that, while it may seem simple on the surface, it is anything but. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. In the march toward the championship, who among the current team members will give their championship hopes a little jolt? Or will they meet resistance from a rival in what could be an action-packed 14 laps? I'm sure we'll work in some more electrical puns since we are at the home of the Thunderbolts. And an interesting qualifying one day ago has Bolt up in third spot, contrary to what many consider still an active host curse in Marbula 1, but Speedy sits on pole position, starting next to Alpine, with Bolt close behind, hoping to get the jump on them. Will Lightning strike in a good way? We're about to find out. And we're rolling! Speedy leads the field through the first two right-handers. Alpine, close behind. Clutter has gotten by Alpine, goes to the inside, and gets the move done. They all move to the inside of that turn there. Now the far chicane. It is Alpine in front of Bolt, who's made it up also past Speedy into second spot. Clementon, Prim, Mocha, and Redeye weave down the front stretch. Clementon just behind Speedy as they come off the belt. 1/100th of a second, and Speedy gets the better exit. Alpine holding the lead, but watch behind. Here comes a burst of speed in the draft. Bolt tries for the lead, and instead loses a position back to third spot. The crowd here going absolutely crazy. They could see the move coming. It just couldn't be completed. Everybody to the outside of that final turn as they come down this front stretch. Bolt 4 lengths back. Oh, and actually gets somehow a step ahead as they come up the belt, and Bolt has second spot. I'm not sure if Speedy had difficulty entering the conveyor belt, but Speedy caught off guard and falls back to third. Tries through the chicane. Very close. Will they opt for the same side on the helix? Hitting in the middle of the helix was Alpine, and Bolt has the lead. The crowd at Short Circuit is going berserk. Speedy and Mocha close behind there in the battle for third and fourth, but Bolt has the lead as we begin the fourth lap. Down the backstretch, Speedy goes to the outside, tries to make the move on the member of the Gliding Glaciers, and apparently does. No, wait, that's Mocha. Mocha gets by somehow. Oh, and they all come together as they go through the helix. Second, third, and fourth. Speedy has fastest lap. And as I say that, Bolt takes it. 2:750 is what the clock shows. A 22-second lap is pretty tidy around this already short track. That is a slow straightaway for Alpine, who falls back to fifth spot. And look at Minty Flav into third. Minty Flav for the Minty Maniac started in 11th spot and tries to go for second spot here. Across the line, side by side with Mocha. Who gets the better jump? Mocha's on the outside, has a bit more speed entering the turn, and holds it through this backstretch. And where does Speedy come from to find all that speed? My goodness, I guess it's in the name, but gets up to fourth. Tries to make a move, but is blocked by Minty Flav. Pinky Toe is also very close behind. Bolt is the leader to the tune of 3 seconds as we reach the midway point. Taking a look a little farther back, well, we will when there's a moment to breathe. All right, they may be spread out a bit, but there's so many battles right there, side by side, Pinky Toe and Minty Flav. I think the former got the spot. Yes, indeed. There's Bolt coming through the final turn. Speedy with a good head of steam. They split inside-outside at that final turn, but how will it work as they come toward the line? There's Smoggy trying to pass Redeye. Oh, that's a good battle there. Championship leaders, they come together. Contact between Pinky Toe and Speedy as they come off of the belt. Speedy gets knocked out of sorts. Mallard drafts by. Who is that? Is that Minty Flav mounting another good challenge? They are close together as they head through the far chicane. The midfield is action-packed right now. I know all of the eyes of the home crowd at the Short Circuit are watching Bolt trying to bring it home, but my goodness, there's a lot going on. The Thunderbolts lead. It's Mocha, then Pinky Toe, Mallard, Minty Flave. Speedy gets by Minty Flave, Cosmo, Clementine, Nemo, Yellop, Clutter, Alpine fallen all the way back to 12th, Red Eye, Bumble, Shimmer, Royal, Wuspy. They all move as I get there. Bumble in 16th, Smoggy, Royal, Dash, and Prim. What is the lead? For Bolt, who also has fastest lap right now. It's over 4.5 seconds. Pinky Toe is now up into second place after starting in 4th, but did fall back a ways at the beginning of this race. Mocha and Speedy coming together, those similarly colored marbles. Oh, somebody got in between them. That's Mallard from the Green Ducks, whose teammate Billy found victory lane back at the Stardust Accelerator 1 week ago. Look at how close these marbles are. It's a 4, 5, sometimes 6 marble train navigating through the lead, 5.5. A contact with the wall for Pinky Toe that may let Mocha have a move down the backstretch. Oh, did it happen? No, but they are much closer than they were. Speedy into 4th spot, up into 2nd spot. Good double move. Pinky Toe right back on it, however. Swinging around the outside, Mocha took the inside. They look fairly close as they come through, but something happened with Bolt because that lead has come down by nearly 3 seconds. Well, the crowd beginning to get nervous here. They shared the straightaway right there. Who is that around the outside? That's Minty Flave. Speedy, I think, got snookered. Was not expecting that sudden movement. Pinky Toe briefly lost that spot, then comes right back. Oh, look at all 3 of them. Side by side, contact between all of them. Minty Flave holds it for now and will off the belt. Speedy thought about the inside move there, but is forced to defend against Pinky Toe as they come down the backstretch. 2 laps to go, 1.5 laps to go. Minty Flave is slow through the turn. In the far chicane, Speedy gets up into 2nd spot and is as close as they've been all race to Bolt. 1 lap remaining. The lead officially is 2.39. Mallard has taken fastest lap and is trying to get another podium for the Green Ducks. Bolt trying to break the home curse. Well up in front, but that lead has come down. What can Speedy do in these final few turns? He's having to defend against Mallard and Pinky Toe. The Green Ducks get by. They come together in the helix. That guarantees the win for Bolt. Who gets second? It is Speedy, and Mallard finishes on the podium. That's just the second home victory of any racer in the history of Marbula 1. You have to go back to Misty Mountain when Hazy took the checkered flag first. What a race that was! Mallard 22.503 on lap 13. That's fastest lap. And, oh, goodness gracious, on the other end of that, it is Team Primary once again. Let's light up that lightning tower. Now you can celebrate. This was a race that anybody could have made up any number of positions on a single lap. Mighty entertaining. Look at the battles. The straightaways here may not be as lengthy and as speedy as what we've seen before, but wow. There were still some great battles, great drafts, and Bolt is going to relish in this one. First Grand Prix victory in Marbula 1 for Bolt, and winning at home too. If there's ever a time to completely fry the power, it's now. Let it rip. Well, you see, ever since lap 3, Bolt held on to the lead. And this place will be powerless late into the night because they've zapped it all. And look at all of this red. They cannot win the championship anymore. That is most of the field. We're getting down to just a handful of marbles, maybe a dozen, who have a chance to win the Marbula 1 individual championship. Of course, the team championship also at play. You only see a couple of reds there. That's interesting. Quite a dichotomy. Can anybody catch the crazy cat's eyes? The top 4 spots did not move. Green Ducks came up, as did Savage Speeders. Thunderbolts have to feel a little bit better about themselves. They're up 11 spots into the top 10, but still, glory on the line down the stretch in Marbula 1. Be sure to subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Give us a comment and a like, and we'll see you next time. With round 10 of the Marbula 1 season already upon us, we welcome you to Xero and the Electron Expressway, a place that we kind of knew where it was, but we weren't exactly sure how to find it. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. It may be dark around the track. Don't worry, no goblins in sight. Instead, it is this wonderful trace element and the hosts who find themselves sitting in third in the starting order after just 1 week ago. We found out that the host curse is not impervious. The question is, can the Kobolds keep that going this week? Starry and Momo head the front row in front of Cerulean and Orangen, Pinky Panther and Crush, Arup, Bonbon, Iceberg, and Billy rounding out the top 10. In the meantime, we are ready to go. Starry on pole with that slight right-hander in front before that hairpin. 180-degree. Lights are on. And we're rolling. Starry heads the field as that Pinky Panther that has made a good jump up into second spot. Momo falling to third, but tries to go around the outside, gets pushed to the wall. Orangen up there in fourth, trying to battle with Team Primary. Arup and Glimmer are side by side, and Yellow Eye gets in the mix. Nearly everybody opting for that inside line. Starry's lead is about 5 lengths as they go through the boost, through the banking. Good head of steam for Orangen, who goes all the way to the lead. That was a tremendous series of corners. Orangen nailed the banking and hit those tracks perfectly, navigated the chicane, and took the top spot. Pinky Panther now back into fourth. Billy moves up into sixth spot in front of Crush. Starry now trying to give chase. Oh, and falling backward, it looks like Yellow headed down through that technical bit as they go to the far hairpin. Orangen and Momo, Starry, Pinky Panther, Arup, and Billy. We see the top 3 for now. It's a big slingshot coming out. Starry gets out of sorts. Momo collects Orangen and shoots that marble forward. Momo gets fastest lap in the process. How you take those tracks can really set you up for that chicane and the final burst down the straightaway. As we have seen, that could end up changing every single lap. Starry has fallen back to third, and Momo, with fastest lap, trying to chase down Orangen. A good 3 marble train there with Arup and Crush. Billy in the mix too, as we see some difficulty in some marbles choosing which path to take. That gets some all out of sorts. As we look a little farther back outside of the top 10, chasing rapidly in 10th, it's Bonbon, Cerulean, Iceberg, Swax, Tumult, Hazy, Yellow Eye, who's gained almost nothing, Wispy, Minty Fresh, and Thunder. Orangen bounds over that divider and I think lost some speed. Yes, the lead has come down. Hazy is slightly closer as they come through the boost. Going to the inside line, both of them. Starry had more pace, but neither one can stay off of the walls. They're going to be very close. So is Pinky Panther and Momo as they come up the belt. Pinky Panther leads by a length in that battle, but look behind. That's Glimmer and Crush who are finding some contact between them as they head into the central part of this circuit. Orangen going to the inside, very close. Starry has the lead, but for how much longer? Orangen nailed this section last time. That might have been some brief contact as they both take the outside, and through the chicane goes Orangen. I tell you, the Orangers have mastered the bottom part of this track as Swax takes fastest lap down there in 10th. That was a good move by Momo to get by Pinky Panther as they go into center. Glimmer also keeping touch. Pinky Panther goes around the outside and takes third spot back. Orangen over the divider once again, but immediately gets right back on it. Close together they come. Oh, Orangen having trouble at the tracks. I wonder what happened there. Perhaps choosing the wrong shell to go around that line. Look at this field, not spreading out all that much. We've got some great battles back there. As I say that, Hazy gets by rapidly in the center of your screen. Starry beginning to break with Orangen. Can Momo catch that draft and start to close up? Not a clean exit for Orangen out of that. Who was that? Was that Swax or Yellow that leapt up in the air? One step apart as Orangen and Pinky Panther were already 2/3 of the way through this race. Starry in front. Origin, Pinky Panther, Glimmer, Crush, Arab, Billy, Yellow, Momo has fallen to 9th, and then Spex, who still holds fastest lap. Momo is going to need to get back up there, starting on the front row, and could not keep the race pace. Too much speed into the tracks, and Origin bounds over the top of them again. Perhaps wasting all that energy and focus at the beginning and is perhaps losing nerve slightly. In the final few laps of this Grand Prix, Pinky Panther is starting to put together what look to be some good sectors, but catches that wall and immediately comes to a stop. I was going to say, that may lead to a battle with Origin, who once again goes over the top of the divider through the far hairpin. Out of the boost, and around that banking come the leaders. Starry, nearly 3 seconds in front. Pinky Panther, a good gap back behind Origin. Billy has some trouble on the belt. Something must have happened because Billy lost about 4 spots, 3 or 4 spots, at the end of that lap alone. Green Ducks hoping for a good finish. And Origin has not been able to master that hairpin for a while, although some wonder if that is a faster way around. Now, certainly this part of the track onward, Origin is able to put it together. What does that lead? Down to 1.2 seconds. When done cleanly, Origin can make up some ground in that third sector. This technical section before they dive to the center of the track. Starry has seemed to have an answer nearly every time. On that backstretch, through the hairpin. Nobody has reset fastest lap for a while either. Also of note, Yellow Eye in dead last. Look at this. Yellow has made some moves and gets by Pinky Panther. They do come together as we get ready to start the second to last lap. This lead is certainly not insurmountable, but Starry is up there. Origin also has a big gap back to Yellow. Oh, they're coming closer. Starry and Origin, you see them in the distance. Through the hairpin, Origin trying to get more speed on the exit. Through the boost they come here, running out of chances. Starry comes across the line to begin the final lap. Running out of opportunities is Origin. Arab 5 seconds back, takes third spot from Yellow. Pinky Panther holding off Glimmer as they descend now. Starry and Origin were very close last time through this bit right here. Going to the inside. Origin once again tries to get a better exit through the boost. Clear track on either side, takes the safer outside line. Starry wins at the Electron Expressway. Origin 1 second back. Glimmer gets by for third spot. 0.03 of a second over Crush, and another 0.04 over Arab. My goodness. Look at Yellow Eye down in 19th spot. And we know that the Rangers have been trending well lately. My initial math says they may be challenging for the top spot. Shout out to Spex, fastest lap on lap 5, and Billy, 27 overtakes over the course of this Grand Prix. But Starry nets 25 points that will help in the individual championship. As we take a look at the start of this race, Starry holding off Pinky Panther. This was a phenomenal burst of speed, well taken, but then it comes undone in the first sector. Another challenge here, moving to the inside, and that put Origin completely out of position, but still happy to get second place, especially with the crazy cat's eyes that far down. Congratulations to Starry, first win of the season, following up a third spot, which was previous best back at Misty Mountain. Look at the climb that Spex had for a while there, right in the middle with fastest lap. And then fell down a little bit. Mellow Yellows. Yellow also up there, briefly in second spot. And look at all of the red! With 2 races remaining, only 6 marbles can still win the individual championship. And one of those is Royal from the Cobalts. They've got to be happy with that. Even though Cerulean was the runner here today, 3 points is the gap between Red Eye and Orangin. And they've done it! O'Rangers are now at the top spot by 3 over the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Only 6 teams can win. But when you get really below Balls of Chaos and down, you've got to have some really good results and some help from the Crazy Cat's Eyes and O'Rangers. The penultimate race of the 3rd season of Marbula 1 will be held at Midnight Bay. The final race at Mirage Mountain of the Crazy Cat's Eyes. Boy, and it could come down to either one of those. We're glad that you joined us for the Electron Expressway. We'll see you next time. As Marbula 1 makes its return to Midnight Bay, the season finds itself in the 11th hour for the 11th round of 12 here in the Marbula 1 season. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. The intensity doesn't get much higher than this, with just 6 teams and 6 individuals up for the championships. To end up the season, your performances have to be perfect. You cannot be afraid of heights as you go over that clear bridge. Your vision must be clear as you pierce the darkness through the lit tunnel. And if you can bring home a victory, as the Pinkies are hoping that Pinky Panther can do from pole, could you help your chances for the championship? Before we begin, though, we'd like to let you know that the Jelle's Marble League, our official game, is getting a 50% discount on Steam. Find all the links in the description below. The Pinkies are not in the running for the championship, but the Crazy Cat's Eyes are. Yellow Eye starting in second in front of Shimmer and Cosmo. Lights are on. And we're rolling. Pinky Panther leads the field. That's Shimmer that got up into second place and tries to go around the outside and does. Takes the lead from Pinky Panther. Cosmo jostling back there. The marbles all change positions up there. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Hold on in the split. Somebody's stuck. Sounds like it's Minty Fresh. Oh, difficult season. So, yellow flag is out. We'll see how race control deals with it. In the meantime, Mocha is up to second spot. Then it's Cerulean, Yellow-Eyed, Cosmo. Positions changing. Oh, the safety marble will not deploy due to a gate malfunction. They wanted to deploy the safety marble, but it's not working. Oh, this is adding an interesting wrinkle. Now, the field could perhaps dislodge that marble. Shimmer will head into the splits first. There's contact. Oh, and it's the leader that suffers. Oh my goodness, tempers are flaring in the stands. Minty Fresh will be a moving obstacle for the race leaders. Lapped marbles, though, can battle to stay on the lead lap, but my goodness, things have changed greatly. Cerulean is in the lead now, in front of Nemo, Yellow Eye, who just sets fastest lap. Mocha, Yellup, Shimmer falls back to 6th. Iceberg, Cosmo, who's also down from a good starting spot. Tumult and Waspy rounding out the top 10. The lead, oh, got a nice move to the inside there by Mocha to get by. Now drafting right on Cerulean. They both at the last second go to the outside through that split. Down they come. Yellow Eye loses several spots. Going to the inside there is Mimo, but Mocha drafts in and makes the move. Nice one there. Look at Iceberg taking the lead and fastest lap. Whoa! From Glidovic, that marble is making some statements here. Iceberg, Mocha battling with Cerulean, who goes to the inside there and gets a position for second spot. Goes to the outside through the split. As we take a look under the tunnel, Mocha with a good head of steam there. Iceberg starting to get into the draft now of the Minty Maniacs. That could help extend the lead. Mocha, Cerulean back behind to the tune of about half a second. Mimo, Tumult, Yellow, Mallard, Shimmer, who is still fuming mad. Yellow Eye loses the spot to Cosmo. Then it's Pinky Panther, our pole sitter, Swax, Waspy, Thunder, Prim, Smoggy, Orangin, Dash rapidly, and of course Minty Fresh at the back of the field. We take a look farther back in that field. There you see Orangin and Dash just as we switch back up to the leaders. Iceberg, good lead over Mocha, who is now battling with Mimo and Yellup. Iceberg sets fastest lap. Mimo gets second spot. Oh no, Pinky Panther steals it away. Perhaps Pinky Panther is starting to get back on it. Mimo is as well. And in the meantime, we see an attempt at unlapping from Minty Fresh. It did not work, however. They are still battling back and forth. Iceberg, who is out in front of Minty Fresh. Mimo tries to get by as well. Half a second back. Coming up to start this lap, Mimo is right there. Trying to get on Iceberg. And Shimmer back there, also very close with Cerulean and Mocha. They're going to go around the outside, and Cerulean loses 2 spots. We're past halfway in this race. Mimo has the lead coming out of the tunnel. This is a great run for Team Momo. Through the dual left-handers they come. Quite a few marbles, all very close proximity there. The launch. Mimo's lead over Iceberg. Then you see Minty Fresh, who is a lap down. Mocha back there in third in front of Mallard and Cerulean. Those 3 are all very close. Mocha, Mallard, and Shimmer all coming right together. Now this is for the lead, going to the inside. That was a great move by Iceberg, but can't get away. Mimo is still right there. They actually slow to a crawl. I'm not sure if that was a brake check. They weave down this front stretch. Contact through the final turn, and they will be 3/10 apart as they come up the belt. Taking a look who got the better jump. It was Iceberg. Very close together. Still in contact, the two of them. 2-3 lengths apart. This is a great battle now. Mallard. Was that Cerulean? Got by Mocha too. There we check back up front. It is Iceberg and Mimo. Thought about going to the inside there, but Mimo instead goes back behind. Oh, now around the outside and loses out in the final turn. Iceberg and Mimo, this battle is hopefully going to continue over these next few laps because this is tremendous. Minty Fresh also in the mix there, of course, trying to get back onto the lead lap and nearly does. Around the outside, but this is complicating things for Mimo. Mocha is now being challenged by Mallard. Cerulean also there. It looked like several other marbles were too. They're just off of our picture. Iceberg is out in front, and having that marble in between is making things much easier as we head into lap 11 of 12. The lead, 1.2 seconds. About the same gap back from Mimo to Cerulean. Mallard, Mocha, Shimmer, Yellop, Swax, Orangin, and Tumult rounding out the top 10. We've barely had a chance to check and see who is where farther on back. There's so much going on at the front of the field. Finally, Mimo does get by that lapped marble. Cerulean is in third spot, the last step of the podium. Oh, and as I say that, Mallard gets by coming out of the tunnel. This has been a great battle as we head to the final lap. Iceberg trying to bring it home. Staying cool up at the front. Iceberg's lead is coming down, though. Here comes Mimo for a challenge. And here we go with 1 lap to go. Mimo in the hunt. Iceberg 1 length apart through the tunnel, going to the inside there. Did Mimo get it done? Yes! Mimo has the lead on the last lap. Iceberg has 1 straight to do it, but Mimo gets the move done and wins the race at Midnight Bay. Heartbreak for Iceberg, whose best result was 2 8th place finishes. Rapidly comes through the last running marble. Of course, Minty Fresh last in the order, but had been lapped. Pinky Panther, our pole sitter, does get fastest lap and some points that come with it. But Mimo, great result, first win of the season, 25 points in front of Iceberg and Mallard, Cerulean, Mocha, Orangin, and Tumult, Yellop, Shimmer, and Swax. Yellow Eye dropped all the way to 16th. That result for the O'Rangers looking pretty good. What did this do to the overall championship order? Well, we'll tabulate, and in the meantime, take a look back. We had several leaders over the course of this one, and this was a section of the track coming out of the tunnel where some fantastic overtakes happened. Once you got some lapped marbles in the mix, though, things got complicated. And of course, that early contact at the beginning, controversy there, I'm sure will continue. What can you do? I'm sure the association will look and see what happened there. Oh, wow, look at Iceberg. Best race so far, even though did not get the win. Top 4 had a pretty poor race. Like I said, Pinkies find some solace in the fact that they captured fastest lap. But what a charge that was from Iceberg. And we see the top 6 are all still there, eligible for the championship. Origin goes to the top spot in the individual race. 7 clear of Red Eye. Starry, Clutter, Arup, and Royal are the remaining marbles. And we'll have to take a look at what the team championship has done. It's a 2-team race. 11 points apart. O'Rangers and Crazy Cat's Eyes, the defending champions. Cobalts move up 2 spots into 3rd, but they cannot win the overall title. Well, there are still some positions to be gained. Look at that 3-way tie back there with Primary, Gliding Glaciers, and Savage Speeders. So some teams can make some jumps, but only the top 2 can win the championship. Who will it be? Stay tuned for the final round of the 3rd season of Marbula 1. The first 11 rounds of this Marbula 1 season have taken competitors all around the world to a variety of tracks, forcing them often to look deep within themselves to find more than they thought they had. It's given them chances at glory. It's seen them struggle immensely. But the 12th round here at Mirage Mountain decides who wins the championships. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. I welcome you to the home of the Crazy Cat's Eyes, where they are giving chase to the O'Rangers for this weekend, hoping to repeat as Marbula 1 individual champions, in this case with Red Eye, and as team champions. But to do it, they will be starting from pole position with their rival hot on their heels. Now, Clementon is not one of the championship contenders. Red Eye is, and this is where it could get interesting. Now, the O'Rangers will win the overall championship, basically if they finish 1st through 4th, with no fastest lap from Crazy Cat's Eyes. We'll talk a little bit more as the race goes along. Lights are on. And for the final time, we are rolling. This time, it's neither Red Eye nor Clementon that get the lead into the first turn, but Clementon emerges from the first sector with it. Amazing start. Clementon had got the better of Red Eye in the qualifying Q2 race yesterday. Now it's the O'Rangers, and Red Eye comes down on that straightaway out of the sand. Ooh, gets bumped onto the curb rather hard by Glimmer. They're going to come through the banking, separated by just 1 length. Wispy is also there. Glimmer gets by into 2nd place. And it's Clementon leading the field, coming off the belt to start the 2nd lap. Red Eye now giving chase with Glimmer. Arup into 4th spot. Crush, Wispy, Minty Flav, Bumble, Alpine, and Pinky Toe rounding out the top 10. These are 2 marbles that are going to be trying to give each other chase this whole race, but Arup is complicating things. Gets by and is now in 2nd place. Glimmer tries to respond and instead sees Red Eye get by. Now mounting a challenge for 2nd place. It's Clementon up front. Off the belt there. Who gets the better launch? Among these 3 marbles that are in this battle, it is Arup so far. Red Eye very close. Glimmer, Alpine also closing in as they come through the accelerator, trying to manage that speed, entering onto the sand, and it's Red Eye's territory and has done very well through it, but loses on the exit. Glimmer takes 2nd spot, and Red Eye needs to get up there. They have to have themselves get fastest lap and 1st place and need the O'Rangers to finish 4th or worse. And at this point, that's not happening, but a long way to go. Here comes Red Eye, challenging for the lead now. Riding those curbs, 1 length apart, that might have... Oh, great exit onto the sand! Managing those curbs beautifully. Red Eye takes it, but then loses it on the exit. Perhaps getting too excited at seeing 1st place, and just like that, Red Eye falls to 4th. Certainly not an unfair section. It's one that you have to nail from start to finish. And Bumble was doing that and then slows to a crawl. Oh, we got a yellow flag. And I'm not sure what's happening there. Well, they're in the scoring pile, and Alpine just fell quite a few spots down to 16th. Was running, I think, in the top 5 or at least the top 10. We'll have to see what happened there. In the meantime, it's Bumble, courtesy of fastest lap perhaps, that got up into the top spot. So much going on here. Now there's Red Eye close behind as we take a look into the banking. Marble's not really getting a lot of separation. Red Eye into second spot, comes up toward first. Red Eye hot on the heels of Bumble. Through the accelerator, and Red Eye, once again, usually does well in this section, but has struggled on the exit, and it looks like that is they were going to stay status quo coming off. That pinky toe leading quite a few marbles there. Crush, it looked like, had difficulty exiting the sand. As we take a peek back up front now, Bumble is the leader to the tune of 0.4 of a second. Red Eye, Clementon, Glimmer, Royal, Arup, Wispy, Minty Flav, Pinky Toe, and Clutter rounding up the top 10. Bumble's lead is about 8 lengths as they come through the accelerator. And Clementon hanging on in third spot. Oh, Red Eye got by. Red Eye has the lead. Clementon also gets by Bumble, who seems to be struggling on this lap. Oh, and we get another yellow flag here. Yellow has fallen to dead last. And I'm not sure quite what's happening here. I wonder what caused Yellow to fall that far down. And the safety marble is out. So far, a local Yellow. Oh, Yellow is stuck at the exit of the sand track. Could be a risk for other racers, but it gets bumped twice and gets going. Minty Flav made contact there and got that marble moving again. In the meantime, back up front. Hey, we got a race and a championship to decide here. Red Eye had the lead and loses it coming off the belt. Clementon, superb exit. These two are dueling as we would expect champions to do. We take a look back in the field as they shoot through the accelerator. There was heavy contact there. I think that was Mocha getting absolutely clobbered. There was some hard contact between several marbles struggling with the accelerator. Clementon is the leader. Red Eye fall into third spot now. But, well, wait a minute. And we're seeing that the safety marble is now being called back in. We never actually saw contact. It was one of the competitors that ended up dislodging that marble and getting things going again, but at least they were quick to get the marble deployed just in case. Clementon has the lead in front of Red Eye and Bumble with 4 laps to go in the Marbula 1 season. Clementon for the O'Rangers trying to unseat the Crazy Cat's Eyes on their home turf. 3/10 between them. As they currently run, it may end up with a tie. We'd have to see what the tiebreak does. As we take a look back there in the battle that Speedy has had, with several marbles very close up front. They're the top 2 lengths apart, coming off of the sand. There's contact on exit, and Clementon tries to get that lead established once again. Royal, in the meantime, has been creeping up the order. What a race it's been for Royal. Is now in third spot, getting in front of Bumble, who still holds fastest lap. 1/4 second separating the top 2. Red Eye needs some help, does get the lead, but needs to have Clementon fall 2 more spots, and Red Eye's going to have to get fastest lap. It's appearing more and more difficult for the Crazy Cat's Eyes now, with fewer laps remaining. There's one of the passes that they needed. Could they get another? Bumble trying to get around Clementon, but loses out in the third sector as they come through that chicane. Red Eye on the penultimate lap. Off Red Eye goes. It's Royal and Clementon. Bumble behind. Then a sizable gap back that has come down, back to Arup. Red Eye onto the sand. Clementon getting high on the walls here. Here comes Royal trying to spoil the party. This would not be ideal for Red Eye to lose this lead. Oh my gosh, as they run right now, this is very close. They would be tied, and the tiebreak, I believe, would go to the Crazy Cat's Eyes, but Red Eye loses P1. Oh my goodness, Royal, to begin the final lap, has stolen the lead away. Clementon holds third spot. That is enough for the championship if it holds. Here comes Red Eye. 1 sector to go. The crowd willing them on. Through the banking comes Royal. Red Eye in second, and that is how they will finish. Royal wins the Grand Prix at Mirage Mountain, but it is Clementon and the O'Rangers who have unseated the home team and have climbed their own mountain to the peak of Marbula 1. They are your championship winners. Yellup, the best overtaker this season, wins that coveted title. Royal gets 25 points. Bumble gets an extra point for fastest lap. Red Eye does finish in second, gaining 2 points over Clementon, but those two were not together in the individual championship. It was Origin versus Red Eye, and Red Eye will be the individual champion in the third season of Marbula 1. This was a fantastic way to end this season. The Crazy Cat's Eyes and the Rangers dueling back and forth. They both stand on the podium together. As we take a look at the lap-by-lap chart, and this one was going back and forth constantly. This track served up a phenomenal Grand Prix, and as you can see, Red Eye over Origin to win the individual championship for the second year in a row in Marbula 1. 108 to 92. And congratulations to Red Eye for that individual title. But by 8 points, the O'Rangers have done it. They are your champions in the third season of Marbula 1. Congratulations to all of our teams. We do see some that are still making moves, in fact. Farther back, Bumblebees, 6 spots up to 11th. No movement in the top 10. Cobalts getting the final spot on the podium. And before we head to the closing ceremony, I want to thank you for watching all season. I'm Greg Woods. So long, everyone.